You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports.
The stakes have been raised here in the wild card round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Bengals going up against the Chargers. With that, let's get out to San Diego. Here's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Mission Valley area of beautiful San Diego, California. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the San Diego Chargers. This will be taken about the 12, and he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. First carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here at 2nd and 12. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton looking deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. Certainly some contact there, and that's why there's a penalty on the defender for pass interference.
So hard to time it up for a defender to hit the receiver when the ball arrives. Got there a little bit early on that one.
They'll run again with Bernard. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. It's second down. Dalton looking. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Brandon.
Have ideal size as a cornerback, but no one plays the ball better in the air than the guy I call Mighty Mouse.
The play clock's running down. Throwing, Dalton. And that's complete to LaFell. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Time running out here on the play clock. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
2nd down, Dalton. This will be caught at the 2. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So now take a first quarter lead. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. First down, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he takes this down deep into Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. So for that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. No gain, and it's second down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
When you play against Carlos Dunlop, you have to think protecting your passer. He knows how to get upfield and rush the quarterback.
And on second and 10 now.
Here we go now. Leopard. Watch him now, Barney. Baby, get excited. Let's go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push them back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Let's go. 3-19.
Allen, the man in motion left. Again, he'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Another look for Dalton, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
Second down following the run. They'll set up to throw. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
A lot of teams love to throw screen passes. They want to tire out defenses because they make them run a lot. But there are a lot of moving parts on a play for an offense when they call that one. Because you got the linemen that have to move. You have the wide receivers have to get out and vacate. You get the running back that's got to make a little fake and then get out into the route. And, of course, the quarterback, he's got to hold in there and know he's probably going to take a big hit before he lofts the screen off to the back. Why didn't he catch it? That's all he needed to do for them to be successful.
Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8. One receiver left, that's Allen. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. 13 yards that time and a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. He's got the interception on a final play of this first quarter. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line.
Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, San Diego. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. He got 29 yards that time. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. And again, now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And picked up, taking it right down Broadway. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice for such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
So they're going to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They send Green to the left on his own.
Wide 20.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Dalton, 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. 2nd down, Dalton. He's got his man on the crossing route. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Watch your slack. Hey, 380. Dagger. 380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And a right-side completion here by LaFell. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 30. Just an account for that.
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
380. Zebra.
Dalton here from the gun. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And over the middle, it's LaFell. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So here now the former Charger kicker beaten out by Andrew Lambo a year ago. This is Nick Novak. This a 43-yard attempt. This has neither the distance nor the accuracy. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. No. Check. Patriot.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Dalton throwing on second down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's Bernard. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's going to wind up and air it out. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman. Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the